Pidgey is a flying Pokemon. Among all the flying Pokemon, it is the gentlest and easiest to capture. Unlike Pidgey, Spearow has a terrible attitude. It is very wild and will sometimes attack other Pokemon and humans.
So here's the thing about Sean, you guys. Sean Strickland is the biggest breath of fresh air the MMA scene has had recently. For some reason, we've all got this ridiculous notion that to be a star, you need to be someone you're not to try and stir up controversy, but I don't think that's the case. Authenticity sells, and Strickland might just be the most nuanced and most entertaining personality on the roster just by being himself. But what about him specifically draws us in? Point 1. Sean Strickland is not normal. Sean is not normal at all. In fact, he's a fucking weirdo.
Work harder, child.
But he wears it like a badge of honor, and we mess with that. I know this sounds backhanded as fuck. It's like saying to someone who's morbidly obese, I love your confidence.
I love your confidence.
How weird and out of pocket Sean is kinda puts me at ease in a way. Like if someone who's achieved the heights that he has can be as odd, as unusual, as abnormal, as peculiar, as hornswoggling, as rum? As alternative as Sean is, maybe we might just be okay. Authenticity brings fans. Sean's a fucking weirdo, but at least he's an authentic fucking weirdo. Point 2. I'm an asshole though, so what do I know? Listening to his podcast appearances, he's got a recurring pattern of speech when he's slating somebody. It usually goes something like, yeah, so fuck this guy, he's actually the worst human being on earth, I hate his guts, but I'm actually an asshole too though, so what do I know, guys? You know when you're giving genuine life advice to somebody that's struggling and you drop the, I don't know though, at the end of your paragraph, just in case, you know, your advice is the difference between them achieving everything they want to be in life or sleeping in the gutter. That's the Sean equivalent. Despite all his flaws and despite the fact that he continually calls himself an asshole.
Me being an asshole.
I genuinely believe Sean to be a good person. Of course a GSP or Izzy will chime in and say, there's no such thing as good or bad people. We're all just capable of great good and great evil. But nah, shut up. Sean is what I deem good. Not fantastic, he has his moments of course.
No food for you till you finish.
But to me, a clear signal of a good person is somebody that's self-aware of their thought patterns and makes adjustments for the greater good of the world accordingly. Sean has messed up thoughts.
One of the hardest things for me, it's like, I was brought up in a world that doesn't exist. So like I was brought up in this like primitive, primal, fucked up world where like my brain was telling me that you are in a very bad place and the world's bad. My brain evolved to be violent. And then as a man now, I'm in 2023. How do I function? When I talk about like, oh, I killed a man. It's like, you don't understand. You're like, when you go through that level of trauma, like you just view the world differently. I truly have a deep down urge to kill somebody. Like I can't, it doesn't go away. Like, I just like, I don't know what it is, man. Like, you know, you just think like, yeah, it's fucked up, dude.
He has the urge to end a life. That's crazy, but he knows it's wrong to do so. So despite the release he believes unaliving somebody will bring him, he does everything he can to not allow himself to even be put in a position where he'll consider it.
The only thing that I truly want is the fucking, like,
make somebody hurt.
Fucking hurt, yes. You know, and then the problem is like, it makes me volatile. So I don't really, even to this day, like I don't go out much.
You can't trust yourself, probably.
I can't trust myself. If I start drinking alcohol.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
Then like that wall that I put up in my brain is gonna start like coming down a little bit. I don't want to put myself in a position to where like.
Yeah, that's true. Let's keep you chill.
Overriding his own impulses and spiritual desires, doing everything in his power to not indulge is good. I know the bar is pretty low here. I'd hope most of us haven't taken a life. Not being a is pretty easy for most of us, but yo, this is an exception. I think it's fantastic that Sean hasn't taken a life yet, although probably not to the degree of Sean. I think most of us have pretty dark thoughts, maybe even malicious at some points. Hopefully. Unless I'm fucked up too. It's the continuous striving to choose good that makes somebody, in my opinion, good. But I think Sean is realizing more and more that maybe he's not actually a piece of shit human being like he thought he was. In the run-up to the Izzy fight, there was a bit of dialogue between them that's always caught my interest.
When I was younger, I went through some traumatic shit, as we all did, man. But I fucking learned my lesson. And as a fucking man, I'm a better man for it. I live a good life. I do fucking good things. So again, man, people can change. I have fucking repented. Goddamn, I'm proud of who the fuck I am. Are you proud of who you are?
I think what Sean says here about being proud of the person he is now is, well, beautiful. To have come from the past that he's come from, and to grow into a human being that can look into the mirror and be proud of what he sees back is something that I think we can all aspire to be like, and it's inspiring to see even when he's been dealt the worst, absolute bottom of the barrel deck of cards in life, he was able to rise from it and achieve heights that 99.999% of the population will never experience. Sean's got what I call the Kanye effect on him right now. We all acknowledge that they're flawed individuals. Very flawed, but we always end up rooting for them because they themselves acknowledge the flaws. And again, tying back to the authenticity part, seeing them express themselves honestly draws us towards them because we feel like we almost know them personally, and no matter what they do, we'll always see the good in them and we'll always be with them because we know that they're always trying to do good. My third point in this structureless, formless video. Here's the thing, you guys. Sean is growing into a bit of an entertainer, unintentionally. I don't know if Sean ever thought he would amass a fan base like he has today, but he certainly seems very grateful and very happy to be beloved. I think he's starting to realize that we all seriously mess with him. The real him, good and bad. Him framing himself as a voice for the average Joes of the world is nice. Although the superstars like Connor and Izzy, etc. have their appeal, it's cool to have like a normal person. I know I just called him like weird as fuck in 20 different languages earlier in this video, but he seems so normal at times. Like they just gave a belt and a microphone to one of us. Maybe in the head and on the mic he's unusual, but just looking at everyone on stage and then looking at him, he looks like the one that we can identify with the best. But here's the thing about Sean, you guys. Sean finding such great joy in entertaining us and making us laugh is great, but I'm just scared that one day, given our track record, the fan base is gonna flip on him like we do to everyone else. Though Sean is, you know, like Sean, I actually feel like that would hurt him if the community switches up on him. He kind of strikes me as a little bit sensitive, to be honest, because of the way he would use the "I'm an asshole guy, so you can't criticize me" as a defense mechanism from hate almost. Of course, somebody who grew up in an environment where he felt unloved would be rather displeased if the crowd of people who previously loved him began to hate him. So I just hope that no matter what happens in his career, we always got his back. The future of DeSean. Long as Sean continues to just be himself and have fun, he should be alright. Rooting for him in his fight against DRICUS, and I hope he knows that he could literally delete someone from existence, and to be honest, we're all probably still gonna have his back.